In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 NBA games happening on April 9, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Portland Trail Blazers versus Utah Jazz. It's a battle between two Northwest Division teams in Salt Lake City, where a pair of squads bound for the draft lottery face off as the Portland Trail Blazers roll into town to take on the Utah Jazz on Wednesday night. Portland comes into this one feeling pretty good after a 120-109 win over the Spurs on Sunday, where they also managed to cover as 3.5-point favorites. Utah, on the other hand, got lit up in their last game, falling 147-134 to Atlanta, though they did manage to push as 13-point underdogs. Historically, the Jazz have the upper hand in this rivalry with a 115-95 all-time edge in the regular season, but Portland has snagged the last two meetings, including a close 114-112 win in Utah back in February. Portland still keeping tabs on the injury status of Denny Avdija, Anthony Simons, and Duapreath, all listed as questionable heading into this one. Utah's list is a lot longer, with Lauri Markkanen, Cody Williams, Jordan Clarkson, and John Collins all set to miss time. While Portland could be down a few key contributors, it's nothing compared to the pile of injuries Utah's dealing with. It's no surprise the Blazers came in as slight favorites, though honestly, with everything going on, you might expect the spread to be a little wider. Neither team has a shot at the postseason, but Portland's second half of the season has been sneaky solid. Since the All-Star break, the Blazers have gone 12-12 and even flirted with the idea of sneaking into the play-in mix. Sheedon Sharpe has been coming into his own lately, and with all the injuries they've been hit with, Portland's embraced that next man up attitude. They're leading the season series 2-1, and both wins came by just a bucket. Meanwhile, the Jazz have been absolutely gutted by injuries and are riding a brutal 9-game losing streak. They're now at the bottom of the NBA standings and will be without 4 of their top 6 scorers. Defense has been a disaster for them all year. It's clear both teams are winding down their seasons, and the long injury lists confirm that. But the difference is how they're closing things out. Utah's basically fallen apart with 19 losses in their last 20 games. Since the All-Star break, they've gone 3-22 and are giving up an absurd 124 points per game over that stretch. Portland's been way more balanced in that time, going 12-12 while bumping up their scoring to 115 points per game and tightening up a bit defensively. The Blazers have taken the last 2 games in this series, and with the way Utah's playing, especially on defense, it's hard to see them turning things around now. Utah's been in full tank mode for a while now, and there's really no reason to trust them, especially with the long list of absences. The Trail Blazers haven't had anything to play for either, but they've kept fighting and pulling out wins. They've taken 3 of their last 4 and are 45-33-1 against the spread this year, which is no joke. Both these teams are heading into the offseason soon, but only one is still showing real effort. Utah's playing a bunch of guys who barely see the floor, while Portland just looks sharper overall. As our first pick for this matchup, the Portland Trail Blazers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Over their last 10 games, Portland has been averaging 114 points a night, which is a decent jump from their full season average by a little over 3 points. They're sitting 17th in the league when it comes to pace, clocking in at 98.8 possessions per game, and are ranked 23rd in offensive efficiency. Utah, meanwhile, has only been putting up 108 points per game across their last 10. Which is a noticeable drop compared to what they've done all year. They're a much faster-paced team, 5th in the NBA in tempo with 99.9 possessions a game, but they're still near the bottom in offensive efficiency, ranking 24th. Defensively, Utah's been a mess. They're giving up the most points per game in the entire league at 120.9 and also allowing the most made threes per game at 14.8. In 9 of their last 10 outings, they've given up at least 120 points, and in their last 3 alone, they've allowed 140 or more. Their offense hasn't done much to balance it out either, though they do like to push the pace. They're 8th in the league in that category. Portland should be able to take advantage of Utah's defensive issues and put up a solid number here. While the Blazers are a bit better on defense, defense, they still rank 28th in fast break points allowed and let teams live at the free throw line. This one's likely going to be an up-and-down shootout. These two teams have hit the over in 4 of their last 5 matchups, and with the way Utah's defense is crumbling, this game should follow suit, even with all the players missing. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Denver Nuggets versus Sacramento Kings. The Denver Nuggets, sitting at 47-32 on the season, are getting ready to face off against the Sacramento Kings, who are currently 39-40. With playoff seeding in the Western Conference still wide open, every game matters. Denver is coming off a rough loss to the Indiana Pacers, while Sacramento grabbed a win over the Detroit Pistons in their last outing. Denver is still without Jamal Murray as he continues to recover from that nagging hamstring injury. Meanwhile, the Kings have officially ruled out Jake LaRavia and have Keegan Murray listed as questionable, which could affect their rotation. Turns out no job is safe in the NBA these days. With just 3 games remaining in the regular season, the Nuggets made a shocking move by parting ways with head coach Michael Malone, who's been at the helm for around a decade. Letting go of a coach this late in the year throws everything into disarray. Now the Nuggets are in scramble mode, and it'll be worth watching how their group of seasoned players handles this shakeup. They've dropped 4 straight games, and with Jamal Murray still out, it's unclear if he'll even be ready when the playoffs start. Up next, Sacramento, a team Denver has already beaten 3 times this season. The Kings are hitting their stride at just the right time, stringing together 3 wins in a row over the past week. Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan have been putting in work to keep Sacramento's play and hopes alive. They're sitting at the 9th seed for now, with the Mavericks breathing down their neck just 1 game behind. The biggest reason for their recent success has been their shooting from deep. They're hitting 42.7% of their threes during this win streak, which puts them among the top 3 teams in the league in that span. Sacramento's been one of the league's top 10 teams in three-point shooting at home all year, so it's safe to say they'll lean on that strength once again when they face Denver. Nobody really knows how the Nuggets will respond now that they're without their longtime coach, but one thing's for sure, they need to stop this losing streak before it does more damage. From a matchup standpoint, Denver has the upper hand. They've already beaten Sacramento 3 times this season, and they've got Nikola Jokic healthy and leading the way. Sure, the vibe around the locker room might be a little off right now, but I'm not ready to count this team out just yet. As our first pick for this matchup, the Denver Nuggets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both of these teams are more comfortable on the offensive end of the floor than they are on defense. That's especially true for Sacramento, who ranks 10th in offensive efficiency but drops to 20th when it comes to defense. The Kings' main guys, LaVine, DeRozan, and Sabonis, can each go off for big numbers, but none of them are particularly known for locking opponents down. That leaves role players like Lyles and Ellis trying to carry the load on defense, which isn't really enough when you're up against a guy like Jokic. Jokic might have a monster night. He and Coach Malone were tight, and this might be his way of showing out. The Nuggets play fast, too. They're 7th in possessions per game, so don't expect them to slow things down just because their coach is gone. Both the Nuggets and Kings have had a tough time getting stops this season. Denver ranks 21st in defensive rating, and Sacramento is right behind at 22nd. These teams have been giving up points in the paint and from beyond the arc all season. With Denver ranking 6th in pace, expect a high possession game with lots of scoring chances. Jokic should dominate once again, especially since Sacramento hasn't had any answers for him this year. The Nuggets just allowed 125 points to the Pacers on their own floor, so the Kings should be able to find plenty of offense, especially now that Domantas Sabonis is back. This one's shaping up to be a shootout. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Oklahoma City Thunder versus Phoenix Suns. The NBA has a Western Conference showdown lined up for Wednesday night as the Oklahoma City Thunder, sitting at 65-14, go head-to-head with the struggling Phoenix Suns, who are at 35-44. This will be the final game in their 3-game regular season series, and Oklahoma City is aiming to sweep Phoenix for the 2nd year in a row. The last time these two met, the Thunder absolutely ran away with it, cruising to a 140-109 win as a 12 and a half-point favorite at home back on February 5th. Heading into this matchup, the Thunder are still dealing with injuries to Jalen Williams, Ajay Mitchell, and Ousmane Dieng. Meanwhile, the Suns are continuing to play without Kevin Durant, who remains sidelined. Phoenix was always going to be a long shot in this one, but honestly, I thought the line would be wider considering how Oklahoma City Thunder has dominated them twice already this season. The Suns are just in a bad place right now. They're falling apart and can't seem to stay in the fight, even when Devin Booker has himself a night. One thing to keep in mind right away is that both teams are on the second night of a back-to-back. For Oklahoma City, they've done all right with no rest, holding a 10-5 straight-up record and 7-8 against the spread in those spots. Phoenix, on the other hand, has struggled big time in this situation, going just 4-11 straight up and 6-8-1 against the spread when running on fumes. The Thunder are getting it done both on the scoreboard and at the betting window. With a league-best 52-24-4 record against the spread, they've been reliable money all year. The Suns, not so much. Their 29-49-1 against the spread mark is second worst in the league, with only the Sixers doing worse in that department. Phoenix has failed to cover in 8 straight games, and they're playing like a team that's mentally already packed it in for the offseason. I'm just not interested in throwing cash at this Suns team right now. With Durant out, their offense has really lost its bite. Even if Booker drops 50, there's no real backup plan or secondary scoring option that can help them keep up with a red-hot Oklahoma City Thunder squad. And defensively, it's been rough. Over their current 7-game skid, the Suns are giving up a jaw-dropping 129 points a night. The difference in value between these two squads, from a betting standpoint, couldn't be more obvious. As our first pick for this matchup, the Oklahoma City Thunder to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Back in February, the two teams combined for a massive 249-point total. But when they met earlier in the season, it was a much different story. Oklahoma City Thunder held Phoenix to just 83 in a 99-83 win. The contrast comes down to playstyle. The Suns prefer a slower, more methodical approach, while the Thunder love to speed things up and run the floor. The Suns' defense has really fallen off, like I mentioned before, but the Thunder have actually been solid on that end of the floor lately. Over their last 6 games, they've posted a plus 7.2 net rating while allowing only 110 points per 100 possessions. That said, they've still been pushing the pace, averaging 103.7 possessions per 48 minutes in that same stretch. Oklahoma City Thunder has also been excellent at defending the three-point shot, holding opponents to just 34.4% from beyond the arc, which leads the league. That could be a big deal here since Phoenix leans heavily on the deep ball, knocking down 38% of their threes, which ranks them third in the NBA. The Thunder have taken both games in this series, winning by wide margins of 99-83 and 140-109. What really sticks out, though, is just how badly Phoenix has struggled to score. In fact, they haven't even cracked 100 points in either of their last 2 games. That lack of offensive production is what I think ultimately keeps this game from getting anywhere near the 231-point mark. Add in the fact that Phoenix ranks just 25th in pace with 99.4 possessions per game, and it's easy to see this turning into another lopsided, lower scoring affair, something like 125-100 or maybe 123-107. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Antonio Spurs versus Golden State Warriors. It's a Western Conference showdown between two teams headed in different directions as the San Antonio Spurs head out west to face the Golden State Warriors on Wednesday night. One team still fighting to stay in the playoff mix, the others just looking to finish the season without too much more damage. These squads are sitting on opposite sides of the postseason line, and this game could say a lot about how each one finishes the year. San Antonio will once again be without Jeremy Sochan and De'Aaron Fox, while Golden State is missing Quentin Post and Gary Payton. The last time these teams faced off was back on March 30th, and it wasn't close. Golden State ran away with a 148-106 win behind a standout 27-point performance from Podziemski. The betting line for this one is steep, but it makes sense, especially with the Warriors getting to rest their main guys early in their previous outing. Both teams are playing the second night of a back-to-back and their third game in the past 4 days. So there's no scheduling advantage for either side. Both groups had to hit the road before this one, but that's where the similarities stop. The Spurs, at this point, are winding down and gearing up for off-season mode, while the Warriors are locked in, trying to avoid the chaos of the play-in tournament. Golden State can't afford to take it easy. Every win matters now. They've gone 18-5 since the All-Star break, and with their playoff chances hanging in the balance, there's no room to slip up. Golden State keeps doing damage on the offensive boards, and they've been one of the better teams in the league at knocking down threes. On the other end, their defense is feisty, constantly creating turnovers with active hands. That's likely going to be a factor in this one too. San Antonio hasn't been able to keep opponents off the glass all year, and they rank near the bottom of the league when it comes to defending the perimeter. Even though the Warriors are coming off a back-to-back, they have every reason to stay aggressive and stack wins to stay alive in the playoff hunt. The Spurs, on the other hand, are playing out the string, and it's been showing in their effort and results. When these two met just over a week ago, Golden State won by 42, and it wouldn't be surprising if something similar happened again. This feels like a game the Warriors want to put away quickly so their stars can sit the second half. I'm expecting a lopsided game that mirrors how they handled Phoenix last night. As our first pick for this matchup, the Golden State Warriors to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. San Antonio has been putting up points, averaging 112 per game in their last 10 outings, but they've also been letting opponents rack up 118 per game over that same stretch. They play fast. They're 12th in pace at 99.4 possessions per contest, but their offensive efficiency is lacking, ranking 18th in the league. Golden State has been a bit more steady on offense, averaging 115 points in their last 10 games, slightly above their season average. They sit in the middle of the pack in both pace and offensive efficiency. Neither team has done a great job taking care of the ball this year, and that's going to mean a lot of empty possessions and sloppy transitions. On top of that, the Warriors haven't been able to consistently score inside, and the Spurs have had issues hitting shots from deep. Those limitations play right into what the defenses want to do, and it'll likely lead to a bunch of stagnant or forced possessions. While both teams have the ability to push the tempo, their pace has actually slowed a bit over the past 6 games. Last time out, these two teams combined for 254 points, but that was under different circumstances. With both playing the second half of a back-to-back, this one feels like it's trending toward a lower scoring affair. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Rockets versus Los Angeles Clippers. The Houston Rockets are set to take on the Los Angeles Clippers on Wednesday night at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. This matchup is a key battle in the Western Conference, and it marks the conclusion of their 4-game regular season series. Houston has a shot at sweeping Los Angeles for the first time since the 2007 to 2008 season, a rare feat. The last time these two teams squared off was back on December 8, when the Rockets walked away with a solid 117-106 win, also at the Intuit Dome. There could be some notable absences for the Rockets heading into this one, as Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., and Fred VanVleet are all listed as questionable. Meanwhile, the Clippers will be missing a few guys of their own. Patty Mills, Kawhi Leonard, and Amir Coffey are already ruled out. Even with those injuries, there's still no shortage of talent on the floor. The Clippers have held a slight edge in recent meetings, winning 6 of the last 10 head-to-head matchups. Still, the Rockets have come out on top in their last 4 against Los Angeles, which includes 2 wins on the road. Houston just seems to have the Clippers figured out lately, and they'll be trying to ride that momentum to lock down the number 2 seed in the West. This is one of those games where checking the lineup closer to tip-off is probably a good idea, especially with the uncertainty surrounding a few key Rockets players. The Clippers are solid at home and could take advantage if Houston is shorthanded, but even then, the Rockets have been scrappy and consistent enough to keep things close all the way to the final whistle. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Rockets to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. When it comes to tempo, neither of these squads is looking to get into a run-and-gun shootout. The Rockets in particular have struggled with shooting efficiency, ranking near the bottom of the league in both 2-point and 3-point percentage. The Clippers are a little sharper from deep. They're 12th in the league at 36.9%. But they don't take a ton of threes either, sitting 25th in 3-point attempt rate. The Rockets aren't much better, coming in at 27th. On defense, both teams are tough against the 3. Houston holds opponents to 35.2%, and Los Angeles is even better at 34.6%. With guys like James Harden and Jalen Green on the floor, there's always potential for offensive fireworks, but defense is what defines both these teams right now. They're each in the top 10 when it comes to limiting points, so don't expect a shootout here. In their last 10 matchups, the under has hit 6 times, and the average total across their 3 meetings this season sits at 222 points. All signs are pointing to another grinded-out type of game. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.